What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Kyle Russ, and I'm a heart survivor and a near-death experiencer. If you're new here, welcome in. This is my channel where we are talking everything my heart story, my near-death experience story, my journey as an endurance athlete now, my journey with my dogs as I run and do everything with them, and then kind of how, I've started this mission of running so many miles for a specific goal to represent a specific milestone. So currently we have set out in 2026 to run 2,000 miles to bring awareness to sudden cardiac arrest in people under the age of 25, and to bring awareness to how proper heart screenings like the echocardiogram can be a life-saving preventative tool to lower the death rate of people under the age of 25 due to sudden cardiac arrest. So we're running 2,000 miles because approximately 2,000 kids under the age of 25 every year in the United States dies of sudden cardiac arrest. So, kind of just running to bring awareness. That's really what it comes down to. Hoping to raise funds to fund screenings in my area. I'm partnered with a foundation that allows me to do that, and yeah, so I want to get on here and recap my week of training for week 4. Week 4 is officially in the books. We are on to week 5 now, and I want to recap how week 4 was broken up, talk about me, talk about the dogs, talk about my workouts. So let's get into it. Alright, so week 4, I've got all my notes here to make sure I get all my numbers right. Week 4 was a build week. What does that mean? It means we're building our aerobic base. We're building upon what we're already doing. Last week, the week 3, we ran about 58 miles. Week 4, which was this past week that we just wrapped up, we ran 60 miles. That is currently the most miles I've ever ran in a week. So it's pretty fun to test my boundaries, test my limits, and push myself to new limits. That's kind of why I'm doing all this. As a heart survivor, I was basically told, go until you don't feel right, or you can push yourself, but if go by feel. So that's really how I'm treating myself. I go by feel a lot. I go by the way my body feels, my heart feels, kind of the way my training feels, if I feel good, if I feel bad. It's all kind of a guessing game. They never really gave me specific parameters, because I'm not saying that I'm the only person out there that does things like this as a heart survivor, because there's plenty of people who do crazier things than me. But with my doctors, with my the people that I see, it was kind of a let's figure it out together type of deal. So how week 4 was broken down: Monday we started out with an 8-mile zone 2 workout. It was just, like I said, easy aerobic base, building that aerobic base of just time on feet, building miles. Tuesdays are my workout days, so usually it's some sort of speed workout. So Tuesday this past week was a tempo interval workout. Basically that was the big workout of the week. We started out with a 2-mile warm-up. Then we did 3 rounds of 12 minutes each at race pace, or I think I had my heart rate set at 155 to 165. And then we did 3 minutes in between each of those sets as a recovery rest session. Then after that, we had a 2-mile cool down. So in all, that was about 9 miles. Yeah, boys.
just wrapped up our last round of our tempo intervals for this Tuesday workout. Did 3 rounds of 12 minutes with a heart rate range of 160 to 170, which I haven't looked at the stats yet, but I think it averaged out to about between an 8 and 9 minute per mile pace, depending on the section we were in. And then we had a 3-minute rest in between. So 3 rounds, 12 minutes on, 3 minutes off.
Wednesday, we did another 9 miles just at zone 2, keeping the heart rate between 140 and 150. That's kind of my sweet spot in my zone 2 runs right now. Thursday, we did an 8-mile workout / zone 2. We did a couple progressions throughout the run where we would, pick up the tempo and push the pace a little bit for a period of time. We built all the way up to a certain heart rate. I think we got to 155, 160 beats per minute towards the end. So kind of not a speed workout, but just a small little progression workout. Keep the legs turning over, keep the heart rate, keep training the heart rate to withstand a higher threshold. Then Friday, we just did 6 easy miles. Kept it really recovery focused because we had done a lot of miles Monday through Thursday. Just getting leg turnover. That's really what I'm focused on right now, is turning over the legs, getting a lot of steps to basically reduce the pressure and the fatigue that comes onto my legs. Saturday, we had a 16-mile long run. This was obviously the big long run of the week. It was kept at zone 2 most of the time, picked up the paces here and there just as a little fun to kind of spice up the long run a little bit. And then, it felt pretty strong. I felt good. Then we took kind of the rest of the Saturday to rest and recover. And then Sunday we did about 4.5-mile recovery run, which put us right at about 60, a little over 60 miles for the week. Now, when it comes to my training in general weekly, I do also mix in my strength training workouts within the week. So I did last week, Monday, I did a, push focused workout. I try to do a mix of, strict bodybuilding style as well as functional movements. So kind of just a mixed bag of exercises for push focused workouts. Tuesday we did a pull focused workout. Wednesday I didn't do strength training at all. Thursday we did another very functional push day. Friday we did a functional pull day. Saturday I didn't strength train, and then Sunday I do a whole body, really focused on core and focused on compound movements, a lot of functional explosive training. So my Sundays are kind of like my big whole body workout day. So like I do a lot of deadlift, power cleans, lunges, squats, pressing, just a lot of different functional movements to work the body in multiple planes, multiple fields, and really get a good workout. So that's kind of my week of training. Monday 8 miles zone 2, Tuesday tempo, Wednesday 9 miles, Thursday 8 miles, Friday 6, Saturday 16, and then Sunday 4, and then mixing in strength training in between there. Oh, hi Maverick, you come to join the party? Hi pretty boy. All right, let's talk about me, and then we'll talk about the dogs. So how I felt throughout my training. Hi buddy. I felt great. Last week was really good. I've really gotten into the groove of my schedule and how my schedule between being a teacher and then mixing in getting my enough training in for my runs. Really because, I'm running 2,000 miles At this point, I'm on pace to run more than 2,000 miles on the year, as long as no major injuries happen, which very well could happen. I mean, I'm not putting anything past, the body, but currently I feel great for what I'm training for. I'm training for a half marathon, 50K. So that's kind of where we're at. The body feels good. I'm getting a lot of leg turnover, which is good. Trying to reduce the fatigue on the legs. The more steps you take, the shorter your stride is. Actually, it seems like you're working harder, but it actually allows you to work less. You're working at an easier effort. I've learned that over the years. I thought, hey, you needed a bigger stride, a longer stride. No, when you're running distance, you want leg turnover. You want a lot of steps because it reduces the fatigue on your body and on your legs. Hi, Maverick. I see you, buddy. Me and this little guy, he loves to snuggle in the morning. So it's really starting to feel manageable. Like I said, I've never ran 60 miles in a week. The most I've run is about 50, 56. So as we're building on top of the miles every single week, adding miles, it's a new experience for me, and it's fun. It's exciting. I'm learning a lot about running. I'm learning a lot about myself, my body, how my body operates, and how I'm going to feel going forward when we're packing on a lot of miles, when I'm doing these ultras, these full marathons, etc. So body feels great. Now, one thing we did change this past week. So I live in northern Kentucky, and obviously last Sunday, we got hit by that big winter storm where it snowed. I think we got about 10 to 12 inches of snow. We got some ice. So when that happens, obviously the roads are covered, the sidewalks are covered. Hi, buddy. There's salt all over the roads. So last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we went out, bared the weather, and I took the dogs with me, and we kind of spared the weather. It was really cold, and there wasn't a lot of places to run. We were jumping in and out of the street, trying to get into the park that's near our house, to try and run around there, but it's not a big park, so doing 8 miles in a small park is very monotonous and very boring. So we were kind of just trying to change up routes, but it just wasn't really very safe. We were jumping in and out of the street, and since I run right after school, it's about 4 to 6 o'clock when I'm running. There's a lot of cars in the road, so trying to do that, it just wasn't safe. I was really only doing it because I didn't have a treadmill at home. I don't belong to a gym, because I have a home gym, so I was just bearing it out and sticking it out, taking the dogs with me. But really it started taking a toll on me mentally, trying to deal with all the chaos going on during our runs, and as well it was taking a toll on these guys. The salt on the roads is absolutely brutal on their paws. They do have boots. I've got multiple pairs of booties for them, but they don't wear them that often. So when they do wear them, their paws get irritated by wearing the booties, especially when we're doing 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15, 16 miles. So I don't like to have them wearing their booties too often, just because of that reason. I really have them as an emergency or for specific occasions, not for them to wear every single day. And yeah, so we try to mix up wearing the booties and not wearing the booties. And just between the cold, the snow, the ice, the salt, their paws were taking a beating. Their paws were taking, they were not great. They were in bad shape. I do have a paw ointment and treatment that I put on them every night when we're running to try and make sure their paws stay nice and supple and soft and aren't getting torn up too bad. But just between all the conditions, it got too bad for for us to be running outside. Like I said, it wasn't safe to begin with, jumping in and out of the street, and then between all the other conditions, it just wasn't good for them to be out there. They didn't look forward to it every day. I could tell they weren't looking forward to it. And so I ended up Friday picking up a treadmill, and we did Friday, Saturday, Sunday on the treadmill. So I ended up doing Friday's shorter run on the treadmill, Saturday's long run I did on the treadmill, Sunday we did on the treadmill as well, which, I mean, it actually was beneficial because, like, Saturday, it was in the morning. I got up at about 4:30 in the morning to get my long run in the morning, and it was -5 with a wind chill of like -15 here. So just not conditions that I want to be putting myself through, as well as the dogs. It's just not worth it. It's not worth getting sick. It's not worth causing some sort of injury or safety, like caution, a safety issue that I just don't want to deal with. Let alone the snow is still on the ground a week later, and all the sidewalks are still covered. There's very little sidewalks that have been cleared. So again, we'd be jumping in and out of the street. So that's kind of a breakdown of, last week. Me, the dogs. The dogs are doing good. They've had the last 3 or 4 days off, so letting their paws recover from the 4 days. I did make them go out in the cold and the salt. But yeah, they're doing good. They're ready to go. They're getting stir crazy. They love running. Like, that's one thing I want to make very clear. I'm not forcing these dogs to go and run with me. They love to run. They love to spend the time with me, and I love spending the time with them. It's our time to bond. It's our time to spend together in solitude and just do something fun. I get to go out and have my dogs with me on an hour, 2 hour runs, and it's just time we get to spend together. And it's fun, it's exciting. They keep me upbeat, they keep me cheerful, and you can tell that they love it as well. They're excited every day to go run. They have a smile on their face when we are finished. So the dogs love it, I love it, and we're going to continue when the weather conditions allow us to. So that's me, that's the dogs. Yeah, that's kind of how we roll, and what's going on with us currently, and what happened last week. So I want to talk about the mission and give a little update on how things are going. So currently we ran total this year about 260 miles. So we're way ahead of pace. I ran in January about 240 miles. That's the most miles I've ever ran in a month. It is now today, February, beginning of February, so it's the most miles I've ever ran in a month. And currently, I've got some stats here. Like I said, I'm running 2,000 miles in 2026. Each mile represents one life that is lost under the age of 25 of sudden cardiac arrest. That's what 2,000 miles means. Most of these kids who are dying don't get the chance to, one, know that they have a heart condition, and two, have the opportunity, like I had, to have incredible doctors in my corner who were proactive, who made the right decisions, who made the right calls, and pushed for proactiveness versus waiting and seeing. That's truly the reason I'm still here. That's why I'm still alive, and that's why I'm here to tell my story today. My story comes down to the right decisions, proactive doctors, and consistency. It's really what it comes down to. Most kids don't get that opportunity. Most kids don't even have an idea that they have a heart condition. I had no idea I had a heart condition. They're athletes, they think they're fine, and they're not. Like I said, I was almost one of those 2,000 in 2022. At 22 years old, I was at a routine physical, and my family doctor caught a heart murmur. He caught it, and instead of saying, hey, let's monitor this for 3 to 6 months, he immediately sent me for an echo. That's truly what saved my life. And in the whole big scheme of things, that's what saved my life. The routine physical turned into an echo, which turned into a cardiologist appointment, which then turned into a surgeon appointment consultation, which then turned into open heart surgery, basically emergency surgery that saved my life. March 15th, 2022 is the date that I had open heart surgery. It's a date that goes down in my lifetime as the most impactful, most influential day of my life. It changed my life for forever. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm partnering with MCOR Foundation. This foundation, they provide limited echocardiograms to kids aged 12 to 22. And they put on events at schools, at sporting events, at athletic, associations, different places like that. And basically they'll put on an event. They'll have so many slots open during the time that they're there. To get one of those slots, all it is a $79 donation to the foundation. And if you don't know anything about echoes, that's cheap to get a echocardiogram, especially because if you ask a doctor if you can get one, they're not going to give it to you without cause, let alone the insurance isn't going to pay for it. So multiple thousands of dollars in a test can turn into $79 donation to a foundation that is pushing for better, that is pushing for getting more kids echoes and getting more kids screened. So worth every penny in my book, and that's also why I'm here sharing my story, to raise funds to purchase and to make those donations to be able to get more kids screened. I'm also partnering with the American Heart Association. I got some things coming up here in the future with them where I'm trying to push and be an advocate for different bills that are trying to be pushed into legislation. I've been invited to be a lobbyist in my state and share my story as a lobbyist to help push legislation for better conditions for student athletes and for young people all around. So week 4 is officially done. Like I said, we're 260 miles in this year, where we did 50 or 60 miles last week. We've got about 64-ish miles this week. Really what it comes down to, if you want to support this mission, if you feel obligated or this push to support what I'm doing here, that's all I ask. Whether you just like, comment, subscribe to the channel, send me messages, the heartfelt messages I get, I appreciate them. The messages I get of saying how wonderful it is of me sharing my story, I truly appreciate those, and please keep sending those. It only gives me more fire and passion to continue sharing when I get those messages. And if you know anybody who is looking to, fund a screening or sponsor an event, or any small businesses out there who would be open to being a community sponsor for this mission, send them my way. If you know a young athlete or a young person who, deserves to get a screening, send them my way. We can set something up. And yeah, week 4 is done. We're on to week 5. It's time to start ramping up the miles. We've got a lot of things coming in the future that I'm excited about. Week 5, we've got, like I said, about 64 miles. Volume is going to keep going up. We've got a hill workout. We've got a 17-mile long run. The Heart Mini Marathon is coming up real quick. It's about 6 weeks away. And on March 15th, which is, like I said, a very special day in my heart, it'll be the 4-year anniversary of my open heart surgery. So come out and join in the party, join in the fun, come out and support. Every week, we're just getting closer to the ultimate goal. And this goal, in my eyes, doesn't end in 2026. It continues on. And I'm going to continue being an advocate for change, for better, and an advocate for heart health in general. So, yes, I have this mission set for 2026, but this mission in my book is a lifetime. I hope to spend my life advocating for this passion that I have, and I hope to be able to share my story, and by sharing my story, be able to change hearts, change minds, and save lives all around. So the goal here, stay locked in, stay committed, stay passionate, keep the fire going. Hopefully weather conditions change a little bit and I can get the dogs out running back with me, because I miss it. I hate running on a treadmill. It's boring, it's not fun, and I feel a little like a fraud because I've told you all I'm running with my dogs every single mile and they can't. Even though I haven't been doing that, it's for a specific reason. It's for their health. It's for my health. It's for our safety all around. So yes, I'm doing it because it's just not safe, but I still hate it. I want to be outside running with my dogs. So again, thank you for being here. Thank you for following along with Heart and Hound Run to Save. This mission matters dearly to me. I know it matters dearly to a lot of people out there who lose family members, lose children. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. Please like, please comment. It only helps the algorithm push this video out to more viewers, out to more people. I will be sharing more, more documentation of my weekly training on my social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram. I'll be sharing more on YouTube Shorts. So those links will be in the description. Like I said, share, like, comment, subscribe, share this video, share it out to whoever. It only helps me and get my voice and get my story out to more people. The more people who hear this, the better. That's the ultimate goal. The more people who have their eyes and the more people I can shed light on this situation, the better. So I appreciate all the love and support from everybody out there. Continue to show that love and support. Send me messages. Like I said, those positive messages I get from people only light a bigger fire under me and give me more passion to continue doing this. And yeah, week 5's a go, and 2026 is going to be a great year. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling. Let's save hearts together. Stay healthy, everybody.